What is up, peeps? Okay, so this is video 3 in this series of Positive Genius. Now, listen, don't worry if at this point you're still a wee bit like unsure, you're not certain, it feels like you're getting the conversations, but you're not certain where the fuck we're going with this. Don't worry, each one's going to get a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. This one, we're going to have some tasks at the end, and stuff is going to be a whole lot clearer. But we're by no means done with this shit. There's going to be at least another video, maybe even 2, just depending on how long they are. The whole idea of this stuff is just to give you enough to get you working on this shit, enough to get you thinking deeply about it in the right direction and not overwhelm you. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to share the screen here and get rocking this because I've got a little presentation for you guys. And here we go. So the whole thing, if you remember what we were doing in the last one, we were choosing the most valuable reality for us. This bit now is the skill 2, like the mental cartography. It's mapping your whole route to success. So what we need to do is now think, now that we've chosen this most valuable reality, you need to start pursuing this. Because like the definition of happiness is the joy you feel while moving towards your potential. All right, and that's a Sean Acker definition. Now, another one that I really like, which is Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek talks about, starting things with why, and if you do things without meaning, shit's fucked up, right? Now, he's copied an awful lot too, but this is his quote. He would say, working hard for something you don't love is called stress. Working hard for something you do love is passion, and it doesn't feel like work. So what we see in both those definitions is that you have to understand the potential you have, and when you're moving in that direction, you are happy. And if you have meaning, if there's a real why behind what you're doing, you don't feel stress. Doesn't feel like work. So we need to make sure that when we're doing this shit, we've actually looked at success and failure. We've looked at all the different angles and the perspectives, like the stuff I gave you in the last task. We've chosen the one that's the most valuable reality for us. And then we're going to attach meaning markers onto this. Like, why is this shit important to you? What does it mean for you if you achieve this? Right? Because here's the thing. If we believe that success comes before happiness, we're fucking wrong. Like, the statistics show that internationally, 29% of people, only 29% of people say that they're happy at work. And then you say, well, maybe they're just fucking stupid people. Like, I mean, they got themselves in a fucking dead-end job. Well, here's the other thing. There's studies to show that people in Harvard, 47% of students in Harvard are depressed. 10% of them have contemplated suicide. All the IQ, all the EQ in the world will not make up for you not having mapped the most successful route for you and why it is fucking important. Because happiness comes before success. To think anything else is fucking backwards. If you're to believe Simon Sinek and Sean Acker and all these people who are way, way smarter now. And it just so happens that all of the results we've got from the people who do the best in Ascension over years of teaching this stuff are the guys who have this shit nailed. So it is hugely important. So here's the next question you're going to have. What the fuck do you mean by meaning markers? It's like little signposts that show you that you're on the right path towards what you have defined as success. Because the true way to actually feel success and know what it is to define what it means for you before you start on any path towards it. Because if you don't define what success means for you before you start along this path, you will never know when you've got there. And then you'll never be able to enjoy it. And that's when most people do the biggest mistake I made in most of my adult life, which is when you're selling cars, you've got quarter one and you get this target. And then you hit the quarter one target and you just wipe the fucking board off and go, I'll be happy when I do quarter two. And then you do quarter two and you wipe the board off and you go, I'll be happy when I do quarter three. That is pushing success over the cognitive horizon. Success gets further away, and no matter what you achieve, you never feel happy. This is saying that happiness comes after success. It's not. If you're not happy doing what you're doing, you will never be successful. And you will never know if you're happy doing what you're doing if you have not chosen the most valuable reality for you and you know why and what it means to you. So we have to pick the right things. This is the fucking hardest bit to do. No matter what marketing, sales, any fucking tactic, strategy, funnel, fucking Facebook ad, YouTube ad, fucking LinkedIn advertising, fucking Instagram, retargeting, it's all bollocks. It's all fucking bollocks without this work. This work is more important than any of it that you will do. Okay, so let's have a wee look at the meaning markers. This is the thing. You're the person who defines the meaning. The guy who mops the floor in the New York Stock Exchange is the person who defines whether his job is meaningful or not. The people on the top floor could be dealing in millions and billions and hate their fucking lives. But if he feels that by making that floor presentable and beautiful and he makes that whole place clean and he takes pride in his job, and the pride he takes in his job is presenting a beautiful place so that those people can walk in and go to their jobs and work more effectively, he's defined the meaning, whereas these people haven't. They've defined the meaning in their life by the money that they make. He has a purpose. These people do not. They are a fucking ATM. You see the difference? So the things in life that matter to you, and the beauty about this is you get to define it. Nobody else defines this shit. But you do have to create some sort of mental signposts that show you you're on the right fucking path. They've got to be important to you. Valuable in some way. Or maybe you just have a deep emotional connection with this shit. The meaning marker, you define the meaning in this shit. It's not defined by anyone else. Just because you think that guy's, mopping the floor in the New York Stock, fuck, he's got the shittest job on earth. He could probably have more job satisfaction than in many cases do. In the studies that they've done, they are happier people than the dudes making millions upstairs because they've defined success in the wrong way. They've got it fucking backwards. When I am successful, I will be happy. No, if you're not happy, you will never be successful. Okay, so let's look at this thing and how we use the ascension roadmap that you should have in your hands to guide us along the next 90 days. Let's get into this shit. We need to pick meaning in the 4 pillars, the core 4. We need to pick, we need to pick goals in each one of these areas. That's the key to staying on track. And then, like my example, remember, meaning is created by the individual, not the job. Dude wiping the floor, he has picked his purpose. He knows why he's doing what he's doing and how it's valuable. Not somebody else. Some external force does not create the meaning. You do. Those who fail to find meaning, and this is what it shows, engagement at their work, less engagement at work, and they're 3 times less likely to have life satisfaction and happiness outside of the office. Shit sucks for them. Remember the statistics I give you. 29% internationally are happy at their job. And 47% of the people at Harvard are depressed. 10% of them have contemplated suicide. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. You notice that there's wealth over there. Number 1 is health. We've got these 4 areas. Health, wealth, success, relationships. These are the 4 dimensions we need to work in. We need to know what's important to us in each of these 4 areas. We do not want to be a fucking ATM like the people on the top floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We need to be living our life in all 4 dimensions. Otherwise, we become a one-dimensional douchebag. And that's what we do. We set the goals in each one. You'll see on the next page in your roadmap, there is like set the goal. What's the 90-day outcome in health? What's the 90-day outcome in wealth? What's the 90-day outcome in success and relationships? In fact, it's the start of a new 12-week block for me, start of a new 90-day block for me. I've been sitting doing this shit this morning for myself. Okay, so we're coaching you in this shit. This is how we coach ourselves and the staff and Elite and the gym because it works. Okay, now I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove what's important to you and what's not. Look at this. This is me plotting my happiness chart, if you like. And I got this task from Sean Acker. I think I'm saying his name right. Anyway, if we look at last year, January to June to December, I had an awesome January in business, great quarter one. Kids, I came home with a bad school report. One of my kids was like, fuck, happiness dropped. Okay, so there's happiness in the X and time in the Y. Then family holiday was great. Sick family member. Fucked. Okay, so the task for you is, I want you, now you can do it right now if you want, pause this fucking thing and draw out the happiness chart for yourself and just plot, just think about the major things that happened and don't dwell on this shit and fuck it. Just first things come to your head when you remember good times and bad times. What the fuck happened? What sticks out in your mind when you think back? Bump, 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 bump. Plot it out. Go. Now, if you've done that task, just hold with it a wee second, because this is what can happen. If you look at mine now, what you'll see is I've got business. Awesome January in business, right? Great quarter one. So wealth, that's in the wealth bracket. Kids, bad school report, that's relationships. Family holiday, up, relationships. Sick family member, relationships. So if you look at it, there's two of the four dimensions. I'm only living in 2 dimensions of a 4-dimensional fucking world. So I'm neglecting 2 other parts of that shit. That means I'm fucking unbalanced. I'm an unbalanced individual. I've seen people who are wealthy, really, really wealthy. They become a one-dimensional douchebag. You may have heard that term or phrase before. You're a one-dimensional douchebag. If all you can do is produce money, you see yourself as an ATM, a lot of fucking bad shit can be happening in the other areas of your life that end up overwhelming everything else. People lose their families, their businesses, everything. I've seen people burn their life to the ground because of this. So we cannot neglect the 4 core areas. They are pillars. And sometimes it's your body, like your health, your nutrition, your training, that's pulling the rest of the shit down. Other times it can be the relationships, your wife or your significant other, or just your family, like the sick family member. That fucked me. I couldn't work because my family was sick. So all of these have an effect on one another. That's why they're called pillars. I think about them like a 3-legged stool. Wealth is on the top, and the success, the relationships, and the health are on the bottom. They're the legs that supports this wealth stool. You pull one of them away, it's fucking shaky. You must have health, success, and relationships balance that supports the wealth goal. Sometimes your other shit is affecting the wealth goal. With success, it's your fucking control over your behavior, your thoughts. Maybe you're fucking in a state of depression. Maybe you're a negative motherfucker, like we were saying, you're living in the problem versus living in the solution earlier. So we need to do work here. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to earn the money because you cannot see the opportunities in front of you. Health, if you are or have been neglecting your fitness, neglecting your nutrition, you're going to perform like a piece of shit. Your ability to cope with stress is diminished, and you cannot perform at a high level if you're not able to deal with the stresses associated with performing at a high level. If your relationships, your connection with your kids, your wife, your significant other, your family, or if you don't have any of that shit, that is going to pull you down. You cannot operate without the foundation of the 3 pillars to support the wealth goal. So consider the possibility you're not making the money or performing like you want to perform because you're fucking up in one of these other 3 areas. Okay, I think I've made my point. So we need to highlight the true meaning markers. Every goal we set should be based on meaning. Meaning, here's a couple of examples. Satisfaction, helping solve complex problems. Maybe it's an emotional connection of doing stuff with your mates or with your team. Maybe you are finding meaning from helping the community. Whatever. It must hold true meaning to you. And anything you consider with true meaning, anything you consider to be important, valuable, or you have a deep emotional connection with. That is it. It is impossible to overstate the importance of this in your professional capacity. Okay? Here's some questions to help you find meaning. What's the one thing that excites you when you wake up? What attracted you to do what you do in the first place? What do you hope to accomplish or achieve? How did you hope that would make you feel? What are the skills you most wish to improve? Or, and this is a future pacing one, I'm getting you to think in the future and wish for something which can get your creative juices flowing a little. If you could wave a magic wand, what's the one thing you would change about your personal or professional life? Like, what is it? So, you could answer those questions now. If you want to pause this shit, go ahead. Now, the whole reason we're doing this shit is that this will all help you choose the most valuable reality for you. I'm plotting meaning markers that'll help you harness your multiple level intelligence to your fullest potential, and it's going to lead to greater success and growth, both personally and professionally. And that's what we're in the game of here. That's what the whole game of Ascension is about. It is about expansion. Okay, so there's the task. Complete your happiness chart for the last year. Find out what you've been neglecting in the last year in your core four. Which, are you living in one dimension, two dimensions? Maybe wealth's the only one holding you back, but now that you look at it, it's like, fuck, I haven't been looking at any of these other areas, and that's why I'm not wealthy, because my success is not where it needs to be in terms of my mindset, the way I carry myself, my confidence, my self-esteem. I'm not clear. I'm squirreling all over the fucking place. Then maybe it's your relationships, like, fuck, I've been a hermit, I've been living at home. You're going to see the things you're neglecting that's going to give you the support that you need to be able to get that wealth goal. And you're going to plot meaning markers that will make that wealth goal more achievable, possible, probable, and enjoyable. Because now you've got the capacity in which to enjoy the fucking money. Because you're happy doing what you do anyway. The money is a bonus. Complete the questions on the previous page. And then, what goals? I need you to start thinking, so what would you like to see in your health? So in health, it's two sections. There is your fitness, a fitness goal. What would you do in 90 days? Just think about it. And then that's going to be supported by nutrition. So health's broken down into two sections: fitness and nutrition. Success, I'll show you in a second, is what I'm going to just give you it because it's a little bit different to the rest. Success breaks down to your active appreciation and your ability to do meditation each day. Two sections: active appreciation and meditation. Wealth, we're going to break down in serious detail very shortly. So leave it for the second. Then we're going to get relationships. Like, what would you like to happen over the next 90 days in your relationships? I'll give you mine. I like to, every 90 days, even just take a weekend away. It doesn't even have to be anything elaborate. You don't have to go to fucking Spain or Las Vegas. I mean, like last time it was camping. We went camping. We went on a camping trip. That's what the kids wanted to do. But the thing is, I have to do things daily in a 30, 60 day capacity, even a weekly capacity, so that when I get in that holiday, my kids fucking remember who I am, because I've been working every hour of the day. I haven't been actually investing in my relationships. So I have to invest in my relationship daily. So I do a random act of housework every single week. I make breakfast twice a week in the mornings. So I stay home in the mornings and I make breakfast for my two kids before they go to school. Then the other thing I do is I do something with each one of them individually, even if it's just a half an hour. So I've got three kids. Ayana, I spend at least a half an hour with her each week. Carlos and Dario. And then I do something with my wife. And I cook one evening meal. It's quite a fucking lot. But that was the area I was neglecting most, was my relationships at home. I can spend fucking hours on work. I can do 14-hour days daily. But if I come home and Vida's been eating dinner 3 nights a week on her fucking own, yet again, when I try and go on that 90-day holiday at the end and go like, yeah, let's be happy family, that's not going to fucking happen. It's going to be like one of them fucking National Lampoon's disasters, right? So I have to keep myself on track. There's my meaning marker, that holiday. I'm going to go on that holiday, and I want my family to have me there. And therefore, I do these things on a weekly, daily basis that point me in the direction of that. So I think I've explained that quite correctly. That could probably bring in a lot of the last conversation I've been having there quite nicely, so you can see how that all works. My most valuable reality, yes, I want to have wealth and success, but I want to have a happy family. I want my fitness to be right. I want my nutrition to be right. I want my mind to be in the right space. I don't want to be fucking overwhelmed, confused, so I meditate and I use my active appreciation. Right? Okay, so that's your task. You can pause this now and do it now if you want, or if you've done it already, continue on. So let me just look at the active appreciation. You'll see in your roadmap that every day you have one of these sheets. You've got Monday, achievements, 1, 2, 3, reason why, and further progress. So what we're doing here is we're using the active appreciation, the journaling, to focus on the positives or the wins from the day previous. So at the time of shooting this, it is a Tuesday. So what we would do on a Tuesday is I would write in what I did on the Monday. I would do it from the day. Now, look, you could do it at night if you want. It just works for me because I get up in the morning and I do this shit in the morning before work. Okay? So I get up at 5:15. Here's what I do. Get up at 5:15, do 15 minutes meditation. That takes me to 5:30. Then I fill this shit in here. So what did I do positive the day before? What did I actually do yesterday that was good? I know I can tell you right now. I played a game of chess last night with Carlos. That was my fucking 30 minutes run. Played a game of chess and we talked about shit. And he's got a hoverboard coming. Tomorrow's his birthday. So we were talking about spending some time with him, right? And like, reason why? Because tomorrow's his birthday and I'm spending some time with Carlos. Further progress, take a day off tomorrow and spend the whole fucking day with Carlos, right? That's what I'm doing. Then the other thing was, what else did I do that was good yesterday? Oh yeah, we had a team meeting and we done the 12-day goals. We done this shit for all the other team members. We looked at what's the most valuable project for you to do? Let's fucking map out for 12 weeks. How are you going to get this shit done? So that my team are all directed. And then you know why? Because it fits into the overall bigger picture of the company growth. That was a big win. And I closed 2 fucking sales. So achievements. 1, I had game of chess with Carlos. 30 minutes undisturbed attention with him. Further progress, take a day off tomorrow. Number 2, did the plan for the 12 weeks for all the staff. Reason why? Everybody has the most valuable reality and a project to manage. Further progress, check in every single week and find out where they are on the plan. And then the last one was close 2 sales. Reason why? That was 2 off the target for the part-time course. Further progress, nail the rest of the fucking target, right? So I do that every day. I do that at 5:15, get up, meditate, 5:30, I fill out my active appreciation. It takes all of 5 fucking minutes. Then I send my email. There we go. If I have time, I will do some study, which is part of my wealth goal, because wealth breaks down to doing your key 3 and doing some study. We're going to go into that in more detail now. But this is the best way to reorient to your map. So if you've been somebody who's been living in the problems, by focusing on the positives, the wins from the day forward, you're actively changing your neuroplasticity. Big fucking word, but this is it. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So when we start looking at positives, we start rewiring our brain to look at the opportunities in the marketplace. That's what we need to do. And we use this journal to help reorient our map in a more problem-solving capacity. And we do it every fucking day. Okay? So, you've got tasks to do, and I'm beginning to bring in the book now so you can see the research and the stuff behind all this, and then what we've been doing, which this research is just, when we looked at it, we were like, fuck. Do you realize that what we've been doing has been backed in positive psychology labs all over the world? We were like, shit, we knew it was good. We didn't realize just how good until people like Sean Acker and Simon Sinek give us the language to be able to describe it. So these are the habits of the most successful people you will meet. Now you are beginning to learn what they are. 1, skill 1, reality architecture. 2, reorienting your map, or looking at pursuing the most valuable reality for you. Mental cartography. Now you are doing it. You're looking at the wealth goal. Yes, that's what I need to do. But you're looking at the 3 pillars of success that will support that wealth goal. You're setting goals in those areas, setting meaning markers, and then you're using the active appreciation, the journaling to focus on the positives and fucking give you every single advantage towards success that you can get. And we are done for today. The next bit you're going to see, we're going to break this shit down into actionable tasks. We're going to really look at the wealth goal in itself and its isolation, because you need to pick those goals for yourself in the other 4 areas. We'll look at the wealth goal and we'll really break this down into actionable strategies, and then we'll just start knocking these down every fucking day, thereby closing gaps towards what we say we want and where we are now and where we want to be 12 weeks from now, 1 year from now, whatever your time frame is. Okay, so go. If you need to shoot back, get those tasks and start thinking about the goals, you can do that now. The next video, we're going to be looking at a few of the things that are in the roadmap that are going to help you get the things that you say you want. Look forward to seeing you on there. Bibbidi bop.